Addendum to the last video, folks, because, I rambled on forever. Anyways, I was not able to sign up with the United States Army. My entire name was besmirched. I was called a liar in court by a lawyer who himself was lying. And I know this because he attempted to get me to lie by lying to me. I didn't realize that was illegal. So, okay. Anyways, my name was besmirched. I then decided, okay, well, to hell with it all. I'm just going to go back to being the Minuteman that I'm really good at being, and fuck the bullshit. I'll recover. And God forbid any poor bastard decide to come to American soil to try to start a fight, because he's going to have to deal with me and about 5 million other motherfuckers just like me. So, yeah, I came back, I did all that, and just recently, as a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, I was on a solo mission having to deal with what I perceived to be a threat to my personal safety, my father's safety, who was alive at the time, my friend's safety, my neighbor's safety, and the safety of the community in general. So, yes, that's my hand. Saying that I was in the interest to cause harm to anybody at that point in time. The only person who I would have been interested in causing harm to would have been the person who at that exact explicit moment was attempting to try and get me personally to go and utilize my father's firearm to go and kill a doctor who would not operate on him. Excuse me, but freedom of choice? This doesn't ring a bell? So, I'd had enough, literally, of having to deal with this horse shit, and I just said, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna play along. I'm gonna make this son of a bitch think that I am in the interest of causing harm to others, and yada da 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 da. So that I scare him so much that he does not attempt to try and harm me, which he threatened to do. At which point in time, well, yes, I put all the firearms and all the air guns and all the equipment into my car. I was in such a rush because I was more interested in paying attention to this guy than I was in paying attention to where those firearms went, that one of those firearms went into my backpack. I had also grabbed my tackle box, which had all my .22 caliber long rifle ammunition in, so that he couldn't possibly get a hold of that and then leave casings at the scene or something and say, oh, but he did get there and he did do this and he did cause all this harm and he did kill this person. I wanted to be able to make sure that there was no possible shred of evidence that this man could utilize against me. In doing so, I made myself look like one of these mass shooters. I fully understand and respect that, and I understand the reason why somebody would think, yes, I was there to do harm, but I was not. I want to make that very clear, okay? And if you think I was there to do harm, fuck you. Really, fuck you. You're such a piece of shit that you probably do it yourself. So, yeah, fuck off. Anyways, I attempted to get there before this gentleman did, so that if there were police officers there, I could contact them without them having to having had contact with the other gentleman beforehand, so that, I might have some standing with these men, even though, yes, I realized, hey, that shit's not going to look pretty, it's not going to be good. So I showed up there. I was there about 5 to 6 seconds before this guy showed up. And I tried to tell the police officers, hey, this is what's going on. This is the situation, you know. It was my hope that there would be police officers there. If there wasn't going to be, then my only other option was to take actual physical action against this fella, in which case probably would have used my 50 caliber and not the 22. Just saying, folks. If you think I was there to try and kill somebody, it would have been done with my 50 caliber air rifle, not my dad's firearm, because my 50 caliber was not registered. Okay? So now that it's registered in my name, I'm never going to use that thing as a fucking kill somebody kind of a weapon. But that's beside the point. That's, for another day. The training that I've been through and all that shit, how to actually commit these actions and draw the intent away from yourself. No. Let's not even go there. I'm not very proud of that particular part of my training. It was not very fun. It was not moral, and it was not something that I would ever train somebody else to do. Okay? So, that being said, I recognize that my best option, if the police did not show up or were not there, to kind of go and say, hey, folks, I'm on your side. Please, I'm on your team. We're all on the same team. We're all working together. We're trying to stop a madman from trying to get other people to cause harm to good men. And I say good men because that self-same doctor that I was accused of trying to kill, that this other son of a bitch was trying to get me to kill, saved my life. Literally. Not 2.5, 3 years prior. Saved my life. I was stuck out in the middle of the river, living off of my jet ski, the only way that I could stay alive, because I couldn't afford to have a house, I couldn't afford to have a car, I couldn't afford none of that. All I could afford was gas in my jet ski and food. Beyond that, it was all provide for yourself. That was all that I could afford. And that was because I worked hard for it. So, we're coming up on the end of the video here, folks. Just bear with me, okay? I stumbled over the top of a fish hook and got it embedded past the barb into my big toe. And I could not remove it for the life of me. I mean, it was down into the bone. This doctor had to go in, cut into my toe, and remove it via surgery. So when I say that this thing was a threat to my life because it gotten infected and was embedded in bone, I'm not lying. Okay, this man saved my life, and I owed him a debt that I was more than happy to pay. So, that being said, I want you to understand, the officers there were not in any danger from me. Okay? And neither was that doctor. In fact, that doctor, if I ever meet him out there in the real world, because guess what, I know he's still kind of walking around, I've seen him once since then. He's a good guy, and I respect the shit that falls out of his ass. So, I'd shake his hand if I got a chance. I would happily give my life for that man. On its head, the gentleman in question who got me arrested, who got my guns taken away, who got my rights taken away, who got everything taken away from me, got away with it. So, in future reference, if somebody's threatening you, if you don't go and carry out an act of abhorrence, shoot that motherfucker in the head and don't give him a second thought. Beyond that, don't be a mass shooter. Don't be one of these idiots. As always, Godspeed to all you American patriots. I love you, and I would happily die for you. But I don't want to, if that's necessary. That's it. Commodore Price, out. Y'all have a good day.